Welcome back. Yeah, I'm back in this shit. So yeah, I decided to start streaming because I don't know. I feel that I need to make a song. Listen to this shit. Like, it's all messed up. My grandmother's coming back home tomorrow, but I gotta do a lot of shit. I gotta clean her room because my grandmother's messy as hell. She has mental problems, so she hides everything inside paper towels. So, if you would have seen what I did in her room, well, look at this. I gotta fucking sit. I popped it this morning. It's nice and red right there. 40-year-old guy, little pimple. And you know why I had a little pimple? Because I put baby oil in my face last night. Some baby oil that I put on my head fucking got to my forehead, so I decided to take it, just spread it over my face. And there you go. An infected pore. Anyways. So yeah, I have to go into her room that I need to fix either today or tomorrow. I got a huge mountain of clothes. I went with two purposes in there. To look for her glasses and to get rid of all this shit that's paper towel. Or to just get rid of paper towels. I'm talking about rolls of paper towels. I'm talking about paper towel. I'm talking about straight paper towel. Like, you have no idea how bad it is in that motherfucker. I'm having quality Ethiopian coffee with ice and 3 teaspoons of sugar. I actually rotate three coffees so that my body metabolizes 3 distinct types of coffee. It doesn't get accustomed to one, and the caffeine levels don't drop. Just you get used to it, and then it don't do shit. You know what I'm saying? You get used to it, and then it don't do shit. It just don't do shit. You sipping one, you sipping that Colombian whatever Bustelo or whatever, the yellow can. You're like, yeah, coffee, and then you have a fucking massive one at 7 a.m. in the morning, and you're like this, dying like a motherfucker asleep, because it don't work. So for you to be sharp, you need to get yourself a coffee grinder. You gotta get a coffee grinder, a real coffee grinder. You gotta put the seeds in that motherfucker and get 3 types, at least 3, and then rotate it every day. What was yesterday? Yesterday was Cuban. Today's this one. Yesterday was Cuban, today's this one. Like that. And then, if you got a lot of stuff to do, you'll be able to have a high caffeine content. So, in the meantime, I lost my phone. My phone broke. A bunch of things happened that I haven't been able to deal with properly, you know, stuff that's been taking my time. So it ended up being a really old phone, not too old, but old, and I had a motherboard problem. So I lost all the data in that phone, and I lost my ability to be third place or to maintain my third place in Toon Blast. I was the North American, the global third place in Toon Blast for weeks, top 3. Looking at the motherfucking score, you know, because they give you, depending on your performance, they give you gifts or whatever in Toon Blast. So my performance in that particular game, in that handheld cell phone game, was top 3 in the world with the Swiss, with the people from Finland. Whomever the fuck was at the top of the list right there, my 5'4", 5'3", 1'8" was 3 in that motherfucker. And I lost that. And I tried playing the way that I play on an iPad, but the iPad's too fucking big. I can't have the same speed. I can't see the puzzle the same way. You understand what I'm saying? I'm focusing on if I use a big screen when playing Toon Blast, I am literally focusing on such a big fucking, you know, on such a huge area, looking to follow the puzzle. I can't do it. So I'm pretty sure that if I do get a new phone, that new phone's going to be bigger. It won't be the same screen as the iPhone 7. So I lost my third place because of that in Toon Blast. I was top 3 in a mobile game. Top 3. Like this, top 3. Not top 3 in terms of how many stages you have to go to get to the end, but in performance wise. You know, in performance wise, because technically it's how fast you move up levels that I was number 3, and how fast, you know, I'm talking about cracking the code on each one, like this one, next stage, like that. And I lost that. And I tried doing it on my iPad and this shit sucked real bad. So yeah, we're in the process, either whomever the heck is going to give me a phone, receive that phone. I tried all the types of shit. I went to Walmart and went to get a prepaid cell phone, trying to swap the SIM. It's fucking locked onto the prepaid network or whatever. But I lucked out because I'm gonna show my little beauty. I was a bum. I was a homeless guy. I used to rummage through garbage, and it's something that some females are now broadcasting online. You know, what I do, or what I did then, before all these motherfuckers started making that shit fucking public, was successful. I was successful as shit. Looking in trash for food, for stuff, for clothes, for everything. You know? And I wasn't getting my hands dirty. You know, I wasn't playing with garbage and throwing dirty shit or smelly stuff onto me. Just very surgical, very precise. You know, so I rummaged my bit through the garbage and look what I got. I got this motherfucker. And this BlackBerry right here is exactly what's giving me my codes to my stuff. Without this BlackBerry, I wouldn't be able to log on Twitch, my fucking cryptocurrency accounts, anything that anything that needs a text, I'd be locked the fuck out. So, something that I found in the garbage came in clutch. And this is after doing all this shit. I could have just been like, oh yeah, at home I could probably just use my old BlackBerry. But that wasn't the case. That was the end of the road. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't have a phone. If my computer fucks up, if my internet cache on my browser decides to fucking poop itself, I'm gonna lock myself out of everything without a fucking phone. Jesus Christ. Everything's tied to that motherfucking phone. So my brain went like, wait a minute. Yeah. So I opened my fucking luggage with my expensive fucking thing, my $20,000 camera, all this expensive as fuck shit. I'm like, oh, look at you. Let me open you up. Open that motherfucker, the SIM card, and the old motherfucker was like massive. My SIM card was an iPhone SIM card, so it's nice and tiny. So I opened the motherfucking BlackBerry up. I'm sitting there with the tiny little SIM card, trying to put the chip right where the motherfucking old, you know, precisely where it would read the SIM card, recognizing it has all this fucking space to fit there. So I moved it right there in the center. Like, oh my goodness, let's see if it works. I put the shit in. I wait for the shit to charge a little bit. I turned on, no intent. I'm like, God damn it, it doesn't work either. But this is T-Mobile too. Fuck. I'm not going to be able to have anything to connect. I'm going to be fucked if the cookie cache. You know, I'm going to be fucked to what? The center. Any people this here want to help me with a phone? I need to go buy a phone on Craigslist. I got to figure my life out. You know, I'm sitting here crunching realities in my brain to what do I need to do to figure this shit out. So I turned off the fucking BlackBerry, right? I turned it on. I turned it on. Fuck. I turned it off, and then I turned it on to see if it's working. I'm like, is this shit gonna work? Is this shit gonna work? Turned it on. Pop, the antenna came on. Edge. Oh shit! I got a fucking phone. It worked. It fucking worked. I'm like, oh my goodness, this shit fucking, and this is all that fucking phone is old. That's a bold, son. That's like 2008, 2007. That's old as fuck. Ah, shit. It worked. Oh my goodness, that shit worked. Ah shit. So I start fucking. I called. I do what I got this and that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to get to the phone as soon as possible. You know, because the rationale of giving me the phone is that everything that I own is linked to that shit. I can't use my Apple Watch. It's just fucked. You know, I can't use my Apple Watch. I can't put music on my Apple Watch. I can't. You know, I can't do I can't do many things because of not having an iPhone. You know, like. There's money involved too because I have an Uphold account that needs an authenticator app, or it needs like an Android application for me to log into certain apps because a two-way or two-factor authentication. A bunch of shit, son. A bunch of shit. So yeah, they're in the process of finding me a fucking a phone. Both of them. Both of my parents are fucking scrambling to see what the fuck they're gonna do, if they're gonna upgrade and give me a fucking phone so I have my watch, and I'm like, I'm fucking safe now. So, what else has happened aside all that bullshit? The phone bullshit was primarily the thing that brought me back psychologically, and my grandmother's going to the hospital for no reason, but she's fine now. She's just, man, you know. She's hold on, chapter, she's fine now, and they're about to let her go on Thursday, and I thought that she couldn't speak and she couldn't walk. I thought she fucking died or whatever, but she had like a fucking stroke, a heart attack. She fucking shat herself. Whatever the fuck she had, she doesn't have anymore. And it was overnight. Maybe it was my mom was probably exaggerating what the heck she had, or the doctors didn't know what the fuck she had, and they just sent her to the fucking, hold on, they sent her to the fucking, to a recovery home. And then, so I've been there a couple times. I actually rode my bike there on Saturday, I believe, Saturday or Sunday. I went there after doing homework or whatever. Friday after finishing homework, I took my bike and I rode it there, even though it's 5.6 miles from here. I rode my bike like at midnight to go sit with her, you know, just to sit there. I told her, yo, a minute with you is 10 years of life of my mom and shit. You're about to go. And I'm slowly realizing that my parents have like 15 years left, you know, so I need to start speeding up everything that I need in life, to just cover the basic needs. Because remember, I'm a fucking indigent male, son. I'm an indigent motherfucker. You're gonna see me fat as hell, or like this, in front of everybody, sleeping on the sidewalk, and I'm not gonna get in trouble for it because my consciousness, or the way that I look, is just going to be someone that's fucking sleepy. It isn't going to be someone that has special needs, or that has a drug problem, or that pissed himself. And I'm not that stupid sometimes. Sometimes if I'm actually working there all night, I might just crash out right there on top of my backpack. But that's how I used to be, reckless, just right there on the sidewalk. I don't care, you know. And that's where I'm headed. I'm headed to that type of situation again in my life. I'm headed right there. I'm headed to that type of situation in my life again, because in 15 years I'm a baby, you know, and I'm not the type of guy to become independent taking losses. I recognize the concept of money, and I recognize that the concept is flawed. You know, society is flawed right there, and if I know it's not possible, I'm not going to work really hard and take risks, recognizing I'm taking a loss to the face. You know, most people in life have someone that they cover their losses. You know, someone that makes a lot, or that took a lot of risks to cover those losses later, so that doesn't happen to them. But to me, I'm not the type to take risks, and I am not going to fall in the trap, you know, in some liquidity trap, or in some slave mentality through life, because I want shelter, water, electricity, and a place to stay. I'm not like that. Alright, so we got Singh, Telly's, VSAC. Yeah, we're Chetty. We're right here. Jensen, Lynn, Roberts, Sparks, Tux, Van Weeselboog. Alright. Chetty. Right now what we're doing is that I figured out that the course had a substantial reference bank, you know, good information to upload to qualitative research software. I got a fucking perfect on my last assignment. My last assignment was not easy. Jensen, right? Jensen. Jensen. My last assignment was not easy. I made, or I wrote 5,000 words. 5,000 words of a document in 3 days. It wasn't easy. That shit was not easy. And she gave me the 40 for it. You know, she gave me full score. It's like excellent, robust, substantive. She gave me the best regards on that shit in the current course that I am. And it's because I gave her the key, you know, like when I focus, I'm focusing 100% of my time on the shit. I'm not going to give you, 3-4 hours. I'm going to give you my entire week on it, you know, like I'm going to give you everything. And she knows that I gave her everything because I added manuals in that motherfucker. I added leaders in theory in that motherfucker. I added everything. I wasn't looking for literature review of other people. I'm going straight to the source to what the heck they gotta say about that shit. So she gave me the fucking 100. Yeah, I got 100 on that first assignment. And this week's assignment is fucking weak as shit. This week's assignment should take me, I don't know. If I'm focused as hell, maybe a day. But I want to stretch it out to 2-3 days. Be extremely focused, extremely precise. All right, so we got Jensen. Let's look at the Lynn. Another Lynn. This one. This one. This one. And the thing is that I'm double saving because I want to keep the last name. So if I'm looking through the qualitative research software, I could quickly just look at the name and know which reference I'm talking about just by the name, just by the file name itself. So yeah, those are the things that have been happening that haven't let me do specific shit. That hasn't let me, stream or wanting to play or whatever, that have taken my mind and Roberts, that have taken my mind by storm and have not let me have like a proper schedule of things. I get carried away doing whatever the heck I'm doing, and all of this in between, cooking for yourself, doing dishes, bathing yourself, trying to play with the dog, trying to do a bunch of shit at the same time, and it sucks, but it's alright. Eventually, my grandmother's gonna come back by tomorrow. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be strong. She's gonna start doing all these dishes and shit, and I'll slowly start having sparks. Start doing dishes or whatever. She'll start lessening the pressure on me. But I asked my mom, because remember, this is a noisy place. I make music sometimes. Or sometimes children, people's circadian rhythms are all off in this shit. So I asked her if she could just walk in there again, because it's nice there. It isn't that nice because it's a medical situation. It's like a home, but like a rehab. You could enter whatever hour of the day you can in there, just sign in, sign out, take a temperature in your forehead. No receptionist, no nothing. Just basically walk into this huge building, go in there, and go where the heck, whatever room she's at, with nurses in the hallway or whatever, nurses and doctors in the hallway or whatever. And within the same area, there's a retirement home, and it's not really a retirement home; it's literally homes, actual homes that elderly people go retire and shit, like a community, with obviously with food delivered to them. I'm guessing either standardized living, that they are in a home community but have the freedom to cook themselves stuff like an actual home, or likely more, or if you can, just getting food, or you walking somewhere to eat food, like basically a military situation. So I'm sitting there when I went there, and I'm like, yo, this is the life, my dude. I would stay here. If I could bring my computers here and stay here and getting fed 3 times a day, I'd probably get skinny. I wouldn't have to go anywhere. Like you just sitting there in your room doing schoolwork or whatever with your door closed. The nurse comes in, hey Enrique, you want breakfast? I'm like, yeah, I want breakfast, put it right there. And then while doing schoolwork, eating the breakfast or whatever, within another 6 hours, hey Enrique, you want lunch? Hell yeah, I want lunch. And you're eating lunch, all of this, within a recovery community. Not recovery, but like recovery / retirement / long-term living elderly community. So I told her, it's like, yeah, make sure that when I told my mom, hey, make sure that when you go, ask them if she could just be a walk-in. That if she comes here to her mess, in which I pulled out 10 pounds of paper towel. And not only did I pull out 10 pounds of paper towel from her room, I had to literally search each and every individual paper towel, because she likes to hide things inside the paper towel. So you don't know if you're throwing out her money or her earrings or her bracelet or gold or whatever. It's like that. She works in some type of mysterious ways that she hides personal belongings inside paper. So in your consciousness, you got to throw all of this shit that you found up to the pounds. We're talking about entire paper rolls. We usually do that to her. We usually go in there, hey, grandma, you have way too much paper in here already. You got to start letting go of this paper, my guy. You got to start letting go of this paper. You're a fire hazard. So you start grabbing some little paper. She starts saying, no, don't throw my paper. That's my paper. That's mine. And you're like, no, we got to throw some of this shit out. We got to throw some of this fucking paper. So at the current condition in which I went in there and started, when she was in the hospital, I started freaking searching for her eyeglasses for her, for her vision. And searching each and every, making sure that I'm not losing anything valuable her within each piece of paper. I got to an entire fucking garbage bag of paper, son. Each and every single one. And it was hard, long process. And I still have a lot of work in that shit to continue taking out the motherfucking paper. Get rid of all that fucking paper that's in that motherfucker. And continue searching for the glasses, because she put them, the last time she lost them and I found them in the pocket of some clothes. Like she wore a jacket, like a big puffy jacket, and I found her eyeglasses in the pocket of the cold winter jacket. And I've checked all pockets, all purses, all bags in that. She fucking lost them shits. She got to get new ones. But her condition is crazy. Now, what she does in that room is mysterious as fuck. And you gotta sit there and you gotta be cautious what you do so you don't lose anything of hers. And something fucking bit me in my ankle for the last 2 days, extremely swollen right here. Literally, something bit me, some type of bug, some type of spider. It's right here, nice and red. It's some stupid shit. It's been really itchy for 2 days. Fuck it. So, That's about it. That's probably all the things that I've taken up and including studying, which is 8 hours of my time that has stopped me from streaming or making music. Although I do make music anyway, like I do like chopping and screwed shit. Me doing chopped and screwed is basically like a hot minute. I just stop there and I threw all that music out too. Do I still have it? But all that music is copyrighted, so I can't really play it on stream. But I slow down shit. How much shit is in here? Yeah, there's a lot of shit in here. Let's listen to the last one real quick. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? Oh, that's fucking
Now, 21% is
Trapaholics mixtapes. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987. Metro! We ain't giving us smoke, we giving out in months.
So yeah.
Spin that shit every day, every night. Back to back to back to back.
Real slow down shit, son. That's what I used to do. I used to get drunk as a motherfucker in my room, son. And this music sounded good in my ear when I did it. This sounded good. You know what I'm saying? Sounded good, yeah? It sounded good. You so drunk? So bleh.
Get ice like I'm trying to make a knot.
21 Savage in this motherfucker, all types of ways, yeah.
When the police hit the lights, I do not slow down.
Let me find the beat.
When I go ready to crack, it's like when the stars go.
Trying to find the beat shit. Once I catch it, you feel that I start going the rhythm. There you go.
I'll be like a press a button and make the odds go. With the shade, brand new CTS, gas spread like the braid.
Trying to fuck it up so much, the record label, YouTube won't be able to hear it.
21 gang, wood grain on the top. Bought another nigga bagger in my face. Key mask, fuck a gun him down on tape.
They found the beat already, right? Give me a minute.
Cause it keep a Drake. Red dot, headshot, pussy DOA. Tommy, 10 and 1 and counting and
Trapaholics mixtapes. Damn, son.
Established, swear about your bitch. Y'all run around here gossiping, ain't you some more meetings. Hard to affect or affecting people around the world. Don't let the hard times catch up to you.
Alright, the motherfucking rich 21 Savage money method.
To financial freedom with
Yeah, 21 Savage put me on, son. I'll never be poor.
You'll create a life for
I'll never be poor.
never thought was possible.
I used to be a dancer.
I used to be a dancer, used to sell my ass on the street.
Finally,
Thanks to 21 Savage, I'll never have to shake my ass again.
all thanks to 21 Savage, I got all types of
I got everything. I got all reps, bins, everything thanks to 21 Savage.
all we're billionaires.
I'm gonna be a billionaire when I grow up thanks to 21 Savage. I ain't gotta ever fake it, son. I wear Versace, Gucci, Prada out there every day thanks to 21 Savage. Yeah.
Somebody please unthaw my ears, cause they frozen. Like I'm trying to not. When the police hit the life, I do not slow down.
Oh god, right?
Brand new Draco ready to crash like when it starts. I'm rich for real, I can press a button and make the Oscar. Nah, facts. Pussy. I just feel like you niggas taking this shit for a game or something.
This ain't no game. 21 side put us on. Yeah.
Charging with theft by taking candy drugs stolen. Trash fight in the neighborhood is 60 rolling. Had to do CPR, got your bitch choking. Selling Percocets.
That's it. No, I fucked up right there.
We need a door open.
But it's alright. I don't give a fuck if I fucked up because it's my music. It's my sound, bro. I don't give a fuck who it belongs to, what it do, what it don't do. Hold on. Let's see what 14 is all about. I threw all these out. Oh my goodness. Cash Money, son. This one.
How am I supposed to make it right?
Nah, it's a motherfucking. This is Cash Money. It's gonna slow down.
Cash money slinging on.
Yeah.
Top is one, the BTs.
It's already slowed down, son. There we go.
Man, I'm a sling. When I try mine, I'm a brain. Begging from no nigga that's
That's it. Pop. That Weezy, son. That little wear of that. That's some real crazy shit. You hear that shit? That is some snare, son. That's a bullet. That's that. Imagine that shit drunk as fucking nice.
Always mixtapes. Damn, son, where'd you find
Like,
that?
my lip. Imagine that shit late night. Right? Fucking drink in the spot and gang members are beating around you and you hear that motherfucking go. Da to the car and shit. Yeah. Yep. That's when shit happen like that. That's exactly what these motherfuckers do, man. They don't give a fuck. Hold on, I'm up. One of my teeth right now in front of y'all. He's right here. But the jelly, right? You gotta mold first. You gotta find the mold. Take a mold of your teeth. There's no music. Don't mind my life. Don't mind the music that I like. Cause damn, that shit foaming up so bad real quick. And I'm supposed to put the light on it, but I don't put the light on it. And this is the expensive gel. I'm running out of it. There's the last little bit of expensive gel that I got left. I got some other fucking one, but this one ain't too. I haven't even tried this one with the mold yet. But they're not that expensive, but they're not that cheap. And my mold spreads out my teeth a little bit. I noticed that I'm getting a little gap in the center teeth, but that's right. As long as they clean up, and they look wet, you can't see a gap in my middle teeth from a mile away. Hold on one sec. Let me spit this shit out. So yeah. 21 Sag gonna stop. 21 Sag gonna solve all our money problems, son. All my money problems gonna solve it. Be like, hey, yeah, you wanna make a beat? Oh yeah, I wanna make a fucking beat. Somebody raised my forehead, so my forehead was not this big. I don't know. I went to the vacation in freaking in North Carolina. My fucking mother and my grandmother conspired to leave me bald and shit. They started pulling at my hand when I was sleeping on the edges and raised my fucking forehead to another degree. Something happened when I was in fucking NC. I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyway. So let's move all these new files that we got here into the qualitative system, because the doctor that I'm working with, or the doctor that's my facilitator, added some, how do you call it? Added some, I don't know, software that could, not software, but some papers that could be useful in answering questions. They have information that she likes, so adding that into your research is important. Anyway, so look, I'm salivating like a motherfucker. Tastes like shit already. That gel's old. I need fresh hydrogen peroxide on this shit. Fresh. Hydrogen peroxide gel is what you put in that motherfucker. And I need the bottom mold. I need to make another mold for the bottom too, so I can put the gel on the bottom and then bite two, and then just put the gel on the bottom and all my teeth are white. So yeah. I've been going through a lot of shit, and I need to drop a new drum and bass song. That takes time, my guy. I gotta sit in that motherfucker, and I gotta make out the sequences and shit. That takes a lot of fun. I need to pick the fucking sounds and the sequences on that shit. So it's a fucking lengthy process. I could do it fast because I've done it before in like a jiffy, but if I want to drop a new track, I'm gonna take a hot minute. Alright, so I put all these motherfucking references in that motherfucker. I got my references, her references, it's all in here. Everything that I use for the course, all them 26 references are right here. So I have a growing bank of information, and it's gonna grow even more. Right now, all I need to do is think about a question. With a couple chapters, just looking at one single chapter. Gotta look at chapter 3 of this shit. Chapter 3 of this shit. And fucking Thomas. So, what I'm gonna do here, let's just move up to chapter 3. Yeah, and I've been putting too much motherfucking gel. Before I used to be stingy as hell, and I put gel in it. Once I got the mouth guard, I stopped putting a lot too much gel on it. That's why my mouth started foaming up. It should have been just a little bit. I need to be a little bit more precise on it. Expensive as hell. Not only expensive as hell, but it's wasteful. I'm gonna spit it out anyway. It's not gonna do anything to the bottom teeth or whatever. So it's only just a little bit inside here, so that any of these teeth that I put the gel on have the effervescence or the bubbly sensation on it, lifting stains up. Alright, let's look at fucking chapter 3 on that shit. There we go. What is it about? Mixed research methods. Action research. Critical research. Alright, so they're talking about arts-based research. I gotta make up a question. Summary. We're just talking about research, qualitative research types in this chapter and this one. That's the newer types of research. Alright, that's it. Alright, so that Merriam chapter is bullshit. We're talking about fucking critical. We're not. Alright, let's look at chapter 3 on this one. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, and I've been playing Albion, but not streaming. I got pretty far on it. Not far on it, but I'm starting to learn how to keep things. I recognize that if I solo fight on expeditions, I lose a lot of money because I gotta repair my whole ship. It's expensive as hell. So the game and the repair is sort of designed on PvE gameplay, which I'm gonna show eventually when I start streaming again. Alright, this is chapter 3. What the fuck is in here? Chapter 3 on it? Hold on. Chapter 3. Alright, so two things that those two chapters talk about and share are critical research. They're all spread apart, but one thing that they have in common is critical research. So let's look at the summary in this chapter. Alright. Anyway, so what else can I talk about? I want to stream Albion tonight, hopefully. I gotta clean my grandmother's room, which is all types of fucked up. I gotta at least hang the stuff on her, you know. And not focus on the garbage, not focusing on the garbage, but just putting clothes back on hangers. If I search every pocket, I was just removing hangers and checking pockets, removing hangers and checking all types of pockets. I was just figuring out where the fuck she put her fucking her glasses. And then you're gonna see what's going to happen. There's pretty long waiting periods to get to a level 5. I did level 5 exploration with 5 other guys. 5 other players, and it's fun as hell. You know why it's fun? Because you make a lot of money, and you don't have to repair the stuff that you have for that amount of money. I figured out by playing it too much. I got the level 5 armor in Albion Online, right? I got the level 5. But level 5 is too expensive to maintain just doing solo runs. Too expensive to maintain, meaning anything solo is probably up to level 2, level 4 in armor. Anything level 5 and above, your best bet is to be with other people. Because it becomes, you can't afford it no more. You can't afford to solo fight and repair. You can't even, with level 5, you can't even go into some blue dungeon and kill a boss inside a blue dungeon. Because a blue dungeon requires some PvE elements. Like you need a party of at least 2 people to do more damage to the bigger boss. Not bigger bosses, but you know, small to medium bosses in terms of how big they could get in that motherfucker. Because you know, we're talking about level 5 still out of like 10, 12, 30, 20. You know? So you're sitting there inside a blue dungeon and you could go through it, but once you get to like the first boss within a dungeon that has like 3 or 4 before the end chest, you can't do shit to them guys, or you die really fast. Even with level 5 armor, you know, level 5 armor, you die quickly. So Albion is sort of concentrated on the PvE element, and I started asking around. At the first, you know, yesterday I started asking around until I found out, yeah, you could do team expeditions. So I'm sitting there in Bridgeport, like, hey, who wants to do PvE? Who wants to go roam and do some dungeons and shit? I can't afford what I'm doing. So they ignored me, and someone, where are you? I'm like, hey, I'm in Bridge. I'm over here. We can't do that, you know, like that. They tried to invite me to some class or whatever, but I ignored them. And then I took a little trip to some other city, and then I went to expeditions again, and I noticed that there's another tab on it. When you click solo expeditions, it's going to say 3, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, and then there's a tab right there on explorations that has tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, and you notice that it's a 5-player party. And if nobody tells you that shit, you're never gonna know. You gotta figure that shit out on your own. So I'm like, oh shit, 5 people could do this shit? Oh shit, 5 people could do it? Alright, awesome. So I clicked on that, and I waited for the party to start. You know, you end up standing there, free roam, on a queue, and then you press start when everyone is ready, and then you start an expedition, but with 5 people. And then, just to make it even better, you realize that after you finish the expedition, your repair is low as hell. It's under 1,000. So you're making like 30,000. You know, you're making 30,000 silver and repairing 600. When before you were doing one solo mission, earning 3,000 but losing 7,000 or 6,000 something. And this is without the donkey. You know, this is just no horse, no donkey, because obviously everything gets hurt in your... Anything that you own gets hurt if you go on the expedition. So this is without a donkey at level 5 at 6,000-7,000 silver to repair. It's just one solo mission, and it's the same cost if you were to go do a solo dungeon. So After level 5, you need to start figuring out how you're going to play with other people, so that you get groups together and you just go and roam and be with them and I'm guessing the bigger the fucking parties are in this shit going together, the better it would be. If you have a part, I'm guessing the maximum part. I don't know how big is the party size, but the bigger the party size is, the more fun you have. You know, and the larger, you know, the higher level cap you guys are, and within that party, the more fun you have because you got a lot of money, and you don't have to repair that much. All right, so this particular we're looking at criticality, right? What the heck is here? Hopefully, critical research, hopefully challenge power relations. That's probably going to be my question, related to critical research. Alright, power and method. Alright. Thomas, chapter 2 on this shit. So yeah. It got fun as hell. And I stopped playing it because of the fucking 30-minute shit every morning. If Albion didn't restart at 6 a.m. in the morning, you know. If Albion per se. Alright, here we go. That's chapter 2. Design, this is a case study, a purpose, question, kinds of questions, literature review. A design frame. Alright. Number 4. So the fourth one is related to rigor and quality, and number 6. What's number 6 about? This is number 5 is ethics. Number 6 is different kinds. Different kinds. Let's look at the last one for chapter 6. So yeah, it got really fun all of a sudden, and the game decided to fucking restart. Like, what the fuck? I'm having the most fun in this motherfucker. Like, yeah. I'm starting to make a bunch of money. I got to like 31 grand. Bought a horse. Bought a fucking level 5 bag. I started getting excited. I bought a bunch of shit, and then I returned back to Bridgeport, and I recognized that nobody's in Bridgeport anymore. Like, I went back from where I was into Bridgeport, and I stood next to the exploration aspect, to where you would go and stand there and wait for Q to start an exploration with 5 people. I get there and it's fucking empty. Or not empty, but almost empty. So I'm sitting there like, fuck. Because, you need a lot of, hopefully, the more crowded the expedition area is, the faster you're going to get to a tier 5 expedition with 5 people. So if you're in a town, in Albion Online, that has little people, within the expedition area, you know for a fact you're gonna be on queue forever. Because, you know, it's people right there waiting for you. You know, you're sitting there, standing there, waiting for other people for the game to start for someone else. And you actually persuade them to go in there. Hey, I'm sitting here at so Bridgeport, 15 minutes in the queue for level 5, tier 5, in so-called town, expedition, 5 people, PvE. And you wait for someone, you know, 18 minutes, 21 minutes. Hey, I'm here. 22 minutes. Someone just joined this shit, level 5. Someone just joined this shit, and then boom, start. And then they come in and you make a lot of money like that. Everyone gets rich like that. You know, everyone all of a sudden from that, they make a lot of money. They leave that motherfucker. Some of them definitely make more money than others, but the money sort of spread that they make. You know, the money is spread. It is in like first FIFO. It is in FIFO, first come, first serve. Now, you don't have to pick up gold from the ground if you didn't kill it. It automatically goes to you. And some of them, depending on who is the best killer within the group, gets the larger pot sometimes. Or they get the chest if they get them first. $1,000 minion kills. Or, you know, enemy kills. They get, some of them get a lot of money, some of them don't. But overall, it's good being there because, you know, you make money and your repair cost is low as shit. Under 1,000 for level 5. So, it's worth it 100%. The wait time is worth the money. So you have to just sit there in the expedition for the PvP or the PvE party of 5 and just wait there. And if what I'm going to do tonight once I log in is likely just check if where I'm at is full of people, and then go to another town and check if the expedition area is packed. The expedition area has to be packed, because those are people on queue waiting for matches, you know. Technically, people waiting around the portal to go in and fight a PvE. If you come back, or if you go to a town and that area is empty, you know for a fact you're not getting into any PvE fights. Or, you know, you're not getting into no party to kill to make some money and make some quick money in an expedition. It's cool. I like it. You start swapping motherfucking weapons. Like, you go from, like, archer from a distance, grab both swords, and you start hitting the motherfuckers. It's a fun game. Resembles old Diablo, but it's starting more to resemble old Diablo. A lot more. Before, I used to be like, this is sort of shitty. But now with the PvE aspect, or, you know, once you start recognizing how the fuck are we going to do this together, you know, where are the places you do stuff together with other people, it starts getting really interesting. Alright, let's look at the summary for Chapter 6 and let's think about a question. What the heck is here? What does it say here? Alright, case study structure. 6.1 is case study structure. So, we are going to talk Alright, we're going to talk about critical. Let's talk about critical inquiry. Let's look for fucking critical. Where is it? Let's look quickly for critical research studies real quick. And let's think about critical research studies. It's the new types. Man, looking for justice. Or we could talk about the boundaries. Alright, let's code boundaries. Boundaries. Coding boundaries. We're looking for boundaries, because that's what we're going to talk about. Boundaries. We're looking for walls, boundaries, edges. Edges. We're coding all with boundaries, baby. All of it's getting code. Station manager. Boundaries. Nice. Alright, we're gonna start Dr. Anderson. I'm pretty sure I had this for too long, so I'm gonna just clean it and take it off my mouth. But it works. Don't forget. Get a motherfucking thing for your teeth. Bite on it. Preferably a boxer one. If you find the boxing types that is basically that don't melt that fast, and you can just put in a pot of warm water, put it on, put it in your teeth, and be perfect and closer together. You know, like tighter up to here, not this slow. Because this one I started did it wrong. I used to have a couple when I boxed before, and I used to make the mold perfect. You know, covering up your gums. And so just find one for boxing that you could bite on, and then you put gel, whitening gel in it, and you're gonna be surprised. And your teeth come out nice and white. Nice and white. Nice and clean. Ching ching. The bottom one need help. You can tell my bottom teeth need help because they need a frame. They need a, how do you call it? They need another, they need another guard so I could put the gel in it and just put it on and it worked. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna wash this. Put it back where it belongs. let's start making these boundaries up, or let's start developing this question. We're working on a case study. Its boundaries are not evident, are unknown. Where research Ravage is going off. Hold on. Let's look for the ones that we want. question for this week. When working on a case study, its boundaries are known, right? Me as a researcher could only focus A, B, and C. I can't focus on D, F, G, fucking whole alphabet after that shit. So boundaries, the boundaries of what you focus, what you illuminate are unique. Basically, anything, any aspect that you illuminated in your case study in terms of literature, but other people have already looked at, that's basically as far as you go. And you would consider that a rich picture if you consider a bunch of factors into a case study. You know, you take a bunch of literature and you broaden up what they investigated, and you're going to investigate that shit too. My argument is the significance of a rich picture could decrease the quality of the observation based on its completeness by focusing only on A, B, C, and D, and not the whole alphabet next to it, and not beyond the illuminated space. How can critical research, right? How can researchers adopt we're gonna use critical research focusing only on focusing on how critical the study is when producing a study that does not go beyond the illuminated space. All right, so I reframed the question to include critical. To include critical, because critical is a way of thinking, or basically what they're trying to tell you here. Critical research is something derived from power. Like so, there's two meanings. Two quality research books mention critical in two different ways. There's right here. Critical theory is in terms of the analysis. Critical research theory is the analysis of power structures in social science, and then Ravitch, in another qualitative book, mentions critical, which is the ability to challenge the literature into the what ifs, which is what I mentioned. Meaning, for the study to have enough rigor and validity, to have some value, just observing the observed area isn't enough. Basically, when you're observing something, you're observing 3, 4 things, including its shadow, whatever the heck is happening in the observed area. That's not enough, because you know that as you're adding information to it, you know that during the process of you adding information to the case, there's more. There's always going to be more. So you're only basically as far of the researcher's intent is as far as he is, how thorough he is on his initial investigation, which is what's going to bind the rest, his findings and everything else. So it becomes recognizing that those boundaries exists, recognizing that the observation must go beyond the boundary to be valuable. There must be a critical observation or a critical rationale behind what's available. You have to focus deeper on A, B, C, and D, as opposed to going beyond A, B, C, and D. You have to focus on. I have to technically focus on the research that I got a little bit more in detail, and the topics of interest more in detail, rather than adding more, if whatever the heck I'm observing has more factors. Because if you observe, things could have many factors in social science. If I'm trying to explain it to you from this way, things can have insane amount of factors in social theory. Like, you're looking at health. So, what makes up good health? And then you draw a circle around. You start making up factors on what makes up good health, physical and mental, and then you just expand and make a whole tree of what makes good health. A case study, depending on how thorough is the researcher, could focus on the whole tree, but must also recognize that there's another, there could be another branch or something unknown to the researcher within the boundaries of the observation, because it's just case study is basically just a schema or how you would organize a framework. Any case study sort of links with the rest of the research, the science, but when you're doing the case study, you're just focusing on the 3 or 4 that you started researching in the first place. But the thought process of analyzing only 3 must be critical in order to gain a more valuable response, or a more valuable analysis, than considering more outside the circle. So you must focus harder on what's observed than through a critical method, which is what I'm trying to apply to the question, than going beyond the boundary of the observed case. Like, if the boundary is, I don't know, some industry, I'm focusing on on something related to this industry. A case study to its benefit could include other industries, but it's best to just be critical on what you have. That's what I'm trying to get at here. That's the question that I'm placing right here for other people to read at this week. All right. So, when working on a case study, its boundaries are known, or research boundaries are unique to the study of an individual process or organization. The significance of a rich picture could decrease the quality of the observation based on its completeness by focusing only on how critical the study is when producing a study that does not go beyond the illuminated space. When producing an analysis that does not go beyond the illuminated space, meaning you're focusing on A, B, C, and D, and you're not focusing on, if you start focusing on something else, you start losing the qualities of the case study. You can't focus on one thing. It can't be too broad. You got to be extremely narrow for a case study. How can basically, you could explore something without it being critical, but you're not going to make change. If you make something, if you make a study critical, you're binding it through justice. You're binding it through something that's valid, that's real, that other researchers could recognize and say, this could make change. And all, so from a focus in social science, you're improving lives. If you make something critical and you're focusing on a problem that is real, rather than a rigorous assertion in findings, if you when it turns critical, other people can take action and make change because of it, rather than just an observation, more towards action. That's how you write. I drive the point by binding it with the rest. So that's just. Okay. Should the research? All right, here we go. Recognizing that they're positioning. All right, here we go. Yeah, I got it. I got the question for this week. The researchers adopt critical research design to develop quality results, recognizing that their positioning is essential in understanding individuals' lived experiences. Social science, we're just technically dealing with people. So, should we or should we not develop critical research design to when understanding better or when making change in people? That would be the final question. Rather than how should we adopt critical design, or rather than how should we critically think to make people's lives better? Should we take that route instead of producing results that are basically that basically belong to more literature on the subject. Basically it's technically the distinction between scientist and taking it personal. That's the best explanation. Considering critical research, it's the distinction or the two extremes between remaining scientific and taking it personal, or going straight to the root of the matter, obviously to drive change. The purpose of what makes critical research design better is that you drive a particular point that focuses organizations and other people to pay attention to it, because it's going to make things better, or it should, or through the way that it's articulated and written, drive some type of change. So it's two extremes: the scientific, the critical. Change, action, power, out there, their lives, and more supporting the gap, or researching where someone else left off, not considering that. That's my question for this week. All right, so let's we're going to take this one. I'm done for today. That's all I had to do today. Write that pussy question. Write that pussy question. I'm done after this. Where the fuck do I do? I think I'm gonna go to my grandma's room and deal with that shit. So I'm gonna start the stream a little bit. And Sharon and Dr. Ravitch and Carl. Ravitch and Carl recognize that the best of intentions, you can make research, but you're merely just researching where someone else left off, or you're technically just exploring what someone else left off, observing it, but not doing anything about it. not really. A study wouldn't be at that point aligned to change, rather an addition to the genre, or basically another document that would go in another journal forever, for practitioners. That would be the real definition between critical or non-critical. And in the end, it would still go inside a journal and be there forever, but it's just the concept of how it's prepared, so that it'd be the distinction from action, or oh shit, we should do something about it, or science, that just between us here, it'd be between us here, just to, for scientific benefit rather than individual benefit, or live benefit, or lives benefit. That's the question for today. Right? The priority. Straight up. That's the best way. As I'm paraphrasing this, critical research would prioritize what they're feeling, what they're going through. Obviously to drive change, to make sense, to change people's minds, be like, hey, there's something wrong, or things have to change for this aspect of study needs to be better. So, right here is what we want. Shiriam and Carl. Ravitch and Carl. The question is, should researchers be critical when driving change? Or a deficit? We leave them at a deficit. Nothing happens. You can make a study, right? You can make a study. You could evaluate, take years evaluating some type of concept. It remains scientific. It benefits the researcher, the journal, the publication, the school that it was made, but it doesn't affect anyone. Only it's in the heads of practitioners. It's in the head of whoever the heck reads it. As opposed to something that would not grow, but something that would generate a more powerful presence. Or something that would generate initiative. By being critical, it's something that generates initiative. And it's not just writing, oh, they need help, not like that. It's some other way. It's how you bring forth the argument, how you bind the how you frame all aspects of research, the questions, how you deal with everything. All right. All right, nice and simple, baby. Ravitch and Carl, we're using this one. Saldana, Thomas, Miriam, and Ravitch. Done. That's it. There we go. Another thing that we're going to do today, because it's Wednesday, it's set up the paper for the week. So we're not gonna stop quickly. A case study in the show. Show a well-documented event in history, a famous person, all right. So let's develop a proper document, baby. We're going to develop a proper document. So now, what we're doing is just preparing what we got to do tomorrow. Alright, so we got this. We're going to delete all this shit. All this shit. Oh wait, I was about to ruin that last week's paper. I gotta make a copy, duplicate. Alright, week 2. Oh my goodness, already November. Lord have mercy on my soul. Boundaries. Layout, orientation, portrait. There we go. Delete all this fucking shit. All right, margins. All right. All right. Double spaced. Center this motherfucker. Ugh.